Welcome to Sports Talk.
Hello everyone, welcome to this Nick from TONT Sports. Today we're going to be doing the Kansas City Chiefs salary review and off-season moves for 2022. Big Andy Reid, man. Big Andy Reid. You guys went 12-5 last year. Every year you guys are a Super Bowl threat. And here we go again. Trying to rebuild this, not rebuild, but, retool this team to get them back in the playoffs. Losing a few guys, hopefully bringing back a few guys. The cap space is not terrible this year around. Coming this year, I think you guys can do a lot. I'm sure you guys can hire this amazing GM accountant again that can, really get you that cap space higher than what it is right now. But I'm going to do my very best job retaining a lot of players that you might be losing this year in free agency. I feel like it's possible. I know the Honey Badger's a guy that everyone's been saying that you guys are going to let walk. We'll see what we do in this video. I feel like they might try to do everything they can to retain him. So let's see what we can do here. Let's hop right into this. Here you go. The very first slide you see in the top left corner of the screen, you got $3.7 million in cap space. Everyone in green on this slide are guys that you can cut and you save money. The guys in red are the guys that you can cut and lose money. Real fast before we do anything, if you don't see somebody here, it's because they're not currently under contract. With that being stated, they'll be on the next slide. So now, look at this real fast here. You look at somebody like Frank Clark. If you're to cut him right now, you would save $13.4 million. If for some strange reason you were to cut Chris Jones, you would lose $3 million. You're not going to do that. For number one, he's a hell of a player. Number two, it makes no sense if you're going to lose money to cut a player. So this is your slide. Let me know what you guys think, who you might cut, who you might not. Again, I'm not going to restructure contracts. It's something that we don't do. But some people to look at for sure, Frank Clark, $13.4 million. Maybe restructure Tyreek Hill for $18 million right now. You got Joe Tooney down here for $9.7 million. Anthony Hitchens up here for $8.4 million. So let's hop into the next slide. We're going to see our notable losses. Here you go. Here's your notable losses. And first things first, I want to give a special shout out to the guy that truly helps us make these videos. Without him, these videos would not be possible. Thank you to Noah, the Pencil Thompson. Without you, man, I really don't know what we would do. So thank you for getting us the expected contract and the percent of snaps played. Here we go. First guy, left tackle, Orlando Brown Jr. Expected contract, a 5-year, $105 million contract. He played 94.4% of the snaps. Next guy's free safety, Tyrann Mathieu. His expected contract is a 3-year, $48.6 million deal. He played 89.6% of the snaps played. Next guy, edge, Melvin Ingram. His expected contract is a 1-year, $8 million deal. He played 53.1% of the snaps played. Next guy is cornerback, Jadavius Ward. He played his expected contract is a 3-year, $34.5 million deal. He played 67.6% of the snaps played. Next guy is cornerback, Mike Hughes. His expected contract is a 1-year, $3.3 million deal, and he played 45.6% of the snaps. Next guy's right tackle, Mike Remmers. His expected contract is a 1-year, $2.75 million deal, and he played 13.1% of snaps. Next guy's defensive tackle, Derek Nottie. His expected contract is a 2-year, $11.5 million deal, and he played 40.4% of snaps played. Last but not least, Austin Blythe, center. His expected contract is a 1-year, $1.5 million deal, and he played 1% of the snaps. Now, typically, a good rule of thumb is guys that play a high percent of snaps are the guys that you typically want to bring back for multiple reasons. One, if they played well, of course, you want to bring back a good player. Number two, continuity and chemistry. You want to keep it the same. So let's go to the next slide. I'm going to show you your potential targets. Here are your potential targets. Right now, you have estimated cap space $3.7 million. We got you guys cutting Anthony Hitchens, cutting Shane Buchela, cutting Darius Fountain, cutting Shalik Calhoun, cutting Justin Watson, cutting Cortez Broughton, cutting Derek Dieter, cutting Zane Anderson, and cutting Brandon Knox. Now, again, with all that being stated, you save $19.7 million in estimated cap space available. Now, with this being stated, you got estimated signings. We got you bringing back Tyrann Mathieu to a 3-year, $48.6 million deal. I feel like this is definitely possible. It'll be a $16.2 million cap hit. I don't know if you guys will do it, but I feel like you should, and I feel like it's possible to squeeze into your cap space. Also, with that being stated, you also got to bring back Mike Hughes on a 1-year, $3.3 million deal, which would be $3.3 million cap hit. With all that being stated, you had to franchise Orlando Brown Jr. to a 1-year, $16.6 million deal, which you guys did do. With this being stated, you would have negative $16.4 million estimated cap space available once it's all said and done. Now, really, you had to do this before you did the franchise tax. Because right now, looking at it, you have $3 million to sign these two. Well, guess what? It's not looking very, very possible. So with that being stated, right now you're almost in the negatives You have you have a little bit of money, but you really don't have much to work with now to re-sign anybody. So this is a big issue here. I'm telling you right now, this is what you should have done. You should have re-signed these two before you franchise tag, but you did it the other way around. Oh no, Kansas City, that's not the way to do it. Now you might try to, I don't know what you guys are really going to do. I have no idea. Maybe just draft players. But according to our model, this is what we had you guys doing. Running back, I mean, again, maybe depth purposes. I really like Clyde Edwards. Well, I don't love Clyde, but I really like your running back room with Darrell Williams. But this is what we had you guys doing, okay? You need a running back, wide receiver, offensive tackle, edge, linebacker, cornerback, safety. We had you guys re-signing Tyrann Mathieu and bringing in Mike Hughes as well, okay? With that being stated, we also had you guys franchise tagging Orlando Brown. In the first round, we had you drafting edge George Karlaftis. Second round, we had you bringing in right tackle Rasheed Walker. And in the third round, we had you bringing in wide receiver Alec Pierce, who I had compared to Mike Evans when I watched this film. Not as good as Mike Evans, but his play style is like Mike Evans. And then this dude runs a 4.35. Wow. Wow. Isn't that what you guys need? You can play him in the slot, you can play him on that side, wherever the hell you want to do. So I really think, I mean, if he falls to the third round for you guys, why not bring him in? Let's go to your 2022-2023 expected depth chart. Here it is, negative $16.4 million. This is what we had you guys doing. I don't know if you guys will have this done now because he hasn't do it like this. We had to resign with franchise tagging Orlando Brown, bring him back Mike Hughes, bring him back Tyrann Mathieu. And with that being stated, we had you drafting Alec Pierce, drafting Rasheed Walker, and drafting George Karlaftis. And then you have two placeholders, Colin Saunders and Shalik Calhoun. You can fill these guys in the draft, hopefully in the later rounds, and we'll see what you guys can do. Let me know what you guys think. You went 12-5 last year. The AFC West just continues to get harder now, bringing in Russell Wilson. I see you guys winning anywhere from 11 to 12 games again next year. That doesn't mean you got downgraded. That just means that the division's getting tougher. It's getting tougher. But again, of course, you guys are going to be Super Bowl contenders. There's no doubt about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. We'll see you guys soon. Peace. We are Built Better.